These people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together, they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. And taking on our resident quiz champions today are the Sear Greeners. Now, this team of friends all have an association with the village of Sear Green in Buckinghamshire. Their children all attended the same school and they take part in the school's yearly fundraising quiz. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Rob, I'm 44 and I'm a sports marketing consultant.
Hi, I'm Terry, I'm 49 and I'm a software account manager.
Hi, I'm Simon, I'm 49, I buy and sell wine.
Hi, I'm Philip, I'm 43 and I'm a film composer.
Hello, I'm Andy, I'm 46 and I'm a client manager.
So Rob and team, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you. And so tell us about Sear Green. Is it a rather sweet little village?
Yeah, it's a wonderful little village. It's just outside Beaconsfield in South Bucks, a beautiful, picturesque little village with everything that a little village should have. A couple of decent pubs, a lovely little school, a couple of churches, and a great community. OK, and you quiz together at the school quiz, and I know from these school quizzes, because we have one at my school, they can be tough. Yeah. Absolutely. Nobody uses Google, nobody uses their phones.
There's no coverage.
There's no coverage. Funny enough, there's no coverage in this studio either, so they can't and you can't. And good luck, by the way, playing the Eggheads here. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So, Sear Greeners, the challengers actually won the last game. So £1,000 says you can't beat them again. You ready to start?
We are.
Yes. First head-to-head battle is on the subject of history. Who would like this?
On the basis of that, that was me,
Who's
guys, I think, wasn't it?
Team captain?
Team captain, I think
Straight
that must
in.
be you. Yes, yeah.
Absolutely.
Obviously you.
Rob.
Yes, we had a bit of a confer before we came, and history was going to be my subject, so
OK.
I'll take history.
Rob, against which Egghead? Who would you like to take on?
Go straight in for Kevin.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's looking nervous.
We'll go for Kevin, please, Jeremy.
OK, well, we'll have a little look at your history record in a moment, Kevin. But it's Rob from the Sear Greeners versus Kevin from the Eggheads. Rob going for the big scalp here. To ensure there's no conferring, would you please take your positions in the question room? So good strategy to have a go at Kevin, Rob.
Absolutely, no, looking forward to it. Going to give it my best shot.
And I think that's partly how the last team won the jackpot, by getting Kevin out. But that was on music, Kevin, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
This is history. How many rounds have you lost on history since the beginning of Eggheads 10 years ago?
Well, none, but...
How many questions have you got wrong, Kevin, on history?
Same.
None?
No.
In 10 years?
No. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
That may make it more likely, Rob, that it happens today. Anyway, you're taking it's brave, but good luck.
Thank you.
Do you want to go first or second, Rob?
I'll go first, please, Jeremy.
Here is your question. The last king to rule over France ended his reign in which century? Was it the 18th, the 19th, or the 20th?
Last king to rule over France. I don't think it's the 20th century. I think it's the 19th century, Jeremy.
19th is the right answer. Yeah. Kevin, which monarch was the great-uncle of Lady Jane Grey? Was it Henry VIII, Charles II, or Richard III?
Well, Charles II was a lot later, and Richard III was earlier. It's Henry VIII.
Henry VIII is the right answer. With some certainty, Rob, but of course that was the first question. He may weaken.
Absolutely.
Which city was the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire? Rob, was it Carthage, Cairo, or Constantinople?
Carthage doesn't come to mind. There were plenty of Romans in Cairo, but the most eastern, I would say, would be Constantinople, so I'll go for Constantinople. Constantinople is the right answer. Well, good for Sear Green. OK, Kevin. Which of Queen Victoria's children gave up his position in the House of Lords and on the Privy Council in order to become the Duke of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha? Is it Alfred, Edmund, or Harold?
Yeah, so Queen Victoria's children, yeah. So I don't believe she had sons called either Edmund or Harold, but she did have an Alfred. So I think it's Alfred.
Alfred is correct. Rob, your question. Which Old English term refers to rulers who took control of several kingdoms within Anglo-Saxon England? Is it Wergild, Scop, or Bretwalda?
I don't think it's Scop. Scop sounds like the wrong word for the era. So I'm selecting between Wergild and Bretwalda. I'll go with Bretwalda, please, Jeremy.
Is he right, Eggheads?
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
Wow.
3 out of 3. Well, lightning strike here. Historically, Kevin, what item of clothing was a mandillion? A cap or shoe or jacket?
No, this is one of those things that I don't really tend to regard very much as history. I'll rule out cap. Mandillion jacket. Does it say it could be a ceremonial? I'll try shoe. I really don't know.
So in 10 years, you've never been knocked out on history. You've never got a single question wrong on history. You have now. It's jacket, Kevin.
Yeah.
Well done, Rob. Bit of Eggheads history there.
Thank you very much.
So, Rob, well done. You've knocked out Kevin. That does not happen very often, and it happens, well, it's only happened once on history in 10 years. Do come back to us, both of you, and we'll play on. As it stands, the Sear Greeners have not lost any brains, and they have knocked out Kevin on history. What about that for a start? The next subject is sport. So, who wants this?
Well,
We all want it.
I don't want it.
we're gonna go with Route 1 on this. So
So that's going to be
Terry.
Terry.
Okay.
Terry on sport.
Terry on sport
Terry on
against
sport.
which Egghead, Terry?
We've gone Dave. Dave, please.
Terry from the Sear Greeners versus Dave from the Eggheads on sport. And to ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. Terry, would you like to go first or second?
Jeremy, I'd like to go first, please.
Here's your question, Terry. Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, and which other golfer were known as the Big Three when they dominated the sport in the 1960s? Ben Hogan, Peter Alliss, or Jack Nicklaus?
I think I know this one. Ben Hogan, I think, was a little bit before that time, and Peter Alliss, whilst a very, very good commentator, probably didn't have the golfing career he would like to have had. So, on the basis of that, and all the majors that he won, I'll go for Jack Nicklaus, please.
Jack Nicklaus is correct, and that's your question, isn't it? You love your golf, I know.
Yeah, it's a very limited talent at it, but it's not for the want of trying.
Okay, Dave, your question. The pavilion at Lord's Cricket Ground was completed in which year? 1790, 1890, or 1990?
I would go 1890, but no certainty at all.
1890 is correct. Terry, in January 2013, Hawaiian surfer Garrett McNamara claimed a new world record by surfing a wave reportedly 100 feet high off which country's coast? Belgium, Portugal, or Greece?
Wow. I really can only think that the country which should have the biggest tide of those three would be Portugal, so I'll have to go for Portugal, Jeremy.
Is he right, teammates?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Amazing
say you're
picture.
right. Yeah, it's correct. Portugal is right. Well done. You're playing really well. You've not got a question wrong so far, team. Dave, Nottingham Forest and Arsenal footballer Tony Woodcock spent several years abroad playing in which competition? Is it Bundesliga, the Primera Liga, or Serie A?
I believe he played for Cologne in the Bundesliga.
We're never going to catch you out on football, are we?
You will do at one stage.
Not
but,
happening yet, though. Bundesliga is correct. So 2 each. Terry, Mark Webber made his Formula One debut in 2002 when driving for which team? Is it Minardi, Williams, or Arrows?
I don't really have any basis to rule any of those teams out, so I'm going to have to go down the middle and say Williams, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's interesting. Formula One is a big quizzy area. I wonder if you know. Eggs?
I'd have gone Minardi.
You would have gone Minardi, yeah. Minardi's the right answer. So chance for Dave to take the round. In 2013, which British sailor became the fastest British competitor to complete the Vendée Globe race? Is it Mike Golding, Ian Percy, or Alex Thompson?
It's not Ian Percy. It's either Golding or Thompson. I'll go Alex Thompson.
If you've got this right, you're in the final round. Eggheads, do you know the answer?
Yeah, that's right.
Kevin confirms it is Alex Thompson. Dave, you got 3 out of 3. You're in the final. Sorry, Terry.
No problem.
The
It's,
tough strategy to make work against these guys, and you've been knocked out. Please, both of you, rejoin your teammates. Sadly, Terry, you're gone. You've gone from the final, but so has Kevin. Let's play on. The next subject is music. Who would like this?
Be me. No.
Right, OK.
On the basis that we have a musician in our midst,
Okay.
it's Philip.
Philip against which egghead? Obviously not Kevin or Dave.
Yes, no, of course.
I'm a great
you go, who you
admirer
think-
of Judith, and I know Judith likes music but doesn't necessarily spend a lot of time reading up on it. So I'm hoping that
You're
if I
right.
could possibly challenge Judith, that would be great.
Okay, one of the politest call-outs of an egghead I've seen for a long time. Philip from the Sea Greeners versus Judith from the Eggheads on music. Please go to the question room. Well, this is definitely your subject, Philip, isn't it? Because you are really a musician.
I am, but I'm one of those people who I spend my whole life doing music, but I didn't spend as long studying it. So I hope that's my way out here. I've been a professor at the Royal Academy of Music for a while, but again, I'm more of a cellist than a professor. So
When you said that, Judith just looked totally shocked.
Oh,
so,
no. She shouldn't.
And isn't that interesting, Judith?
It's very interesting. I want to go home right now.
But what is even more interesting, Philip, is what you did for the 2012 Olympics, because you had to basically rescore every single national anthem. Is that correct?
Yes, I did. It's quite strange that for copyright reasons, every single Olympics, and in fact also the Winter Olympics, the whole pack of world anthems need to be rearranged and then re-recorded.
So you can't play the Stars and Stripes just as is. It has
No.
to be Philipped in some way.
Yes, I wanted to do it in the style of Jimi Hendrix, but even that's copyright as well these days.
Of course it is, yeah. So would you like to go back to mundane matters here? Would you like to go first or second?
I think I'd like to go first, yeah.
Philip, here we go. The singer Jerry Lee Lewis became famous for playing which instrument during his performances? Is it guitar, drums, or piano?
Well, he certainly wasn't a famous guitar player, and he certainly had a very percussive style, but it tended to be, I believe, more on the piano, and he'd sometimes play it with his feet as well. So I'm fairly confident that it's piano.
Piano is the right answer. Judith, who described herself as Mrs. Carter for a world tour in 2013? Is it Adele, Pink, or Beyoncé?
Why on earth would they do that? To be incognito while travelling? I should think it's probably Adele.
Barry knows this, I can tell. No?
No, it's
You look-
Beyonce because it's Beyonce. Jay-Z is Sean Carter.
Judith, you're wrong. It's not Adele, it's Beyoncé. So in the lead, Philip. What was the second UK #1 single for Duran Duran?
Oh.
You remembering it? Is that why you're in pain?
No, I didn't listen to pop music when I was young. No.
Girls on Film, Rio, or The Reflex?
OK, I'm going to say, so I'm thinking about this. Rio, I have to think of the videos. Rio, that's going to be the one with the boat, and one of them was famous for sinking drum, I think it was, wasn't it, the boat? So that's sort of in my mind quite strongly, because that was a big hit for them. I suspect I'm wrong. I suspect I'm wrong here, but I'm going to go for Rio.
I was listening when I was 15, and I would have said Rio, but it's wrong. The Reflex.
Oh.
I
right.
guess one of them wasn't a #1, and we thought it was, probably.
Yep.
So The Reflex is the answer. So Judith, back to you. The band Queensryche became a leading name in which genre of music during the 1980s? Folk, heavy metal, or reggae?
How do you spell that?
It's Queen and then S-R-Y-C-H-E. Queensryche, all one word.
I don't know, God. Heavy metal.
Of course, yes, heavy metal is the answer. So it's one each after 2 questions, Philip.
Okay.
Get this one right, put some pressure on Ms. Keppel.
OK.
Which TV personality played the role of Albin in the West End production of the musical La Cage aux Folles in early 2009? Was it Dara O'Brien, Graham Norton, or Sean Hughes?
I'm struggling for an answer here, because I'm not very good on musicals. Now, I remember the film of La Cage aux Folles. But that's not going to help me here, because obviously what you've got there is 3 very famous Irish comedians, which reminds me of something. I think I remember Graham Norton talking about having some coaching and having to prepare for a role. Listen, I'm going to say Graham Norton, but I'm happy if I'm wrong. I'm going to say Graham Norton.
My Radio 2 colleague Graham Norton will be pleased with your answer because it's right. Well done. 2 out of 3. OK, Judith, if you get this one wrong, you've been knocked out. Which composer was appointed music director for Hamburg in 1721 and stayed there until his death in 1767? Is it Georg Philipp Telemann, Johann Christian Bach, or George Friedrich Handel?
Well, I think Handel was in England, so I don't think it was him. I have a feeling that Telemann was earlier than that. So I'm going to go J.C. Bach.
Bach is your answer. Do you know, Philip, this one?
Mine would actually honestly be a guess as well. I would have said Telemann, but I'm probably completely wrong.
Telemann is actually the right answer. So,
I thought he was earlier.
Judith, 1 point out of 3. You've been knocked out by Philip.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Well done to you. You're in the final round, and Judith is not. Please, both of you, rejoin your teams and we'll play on. We're heading for our last round before the final now. As it stands, the Sea Greeners have lost 1 brain. The Eggheads have lost 2 brains. You're playing well. The next subject is science. Who would like this?
Okay. I'm not sure anyone would
No,
like
what's
it. I think I'm going to take it, Jeremy.
OK, Andy, against which Eggheads?
We're gonna get Barry working.
OK,
Take on
good,
Barry.
good choice, I'm sure. Andy on science from the Sea Greeners versus Barry from the Eggheads. Please go to the question room. We'll see who wins. Good luck, Andy.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to go first or second?
I would love to go first, please, Jeremy.
Here we go with your first question. What term is usually given to the unit of speed equal to 1 nautical mile per hour? Is it turn, knot, or stint?
Okay, so my brain says nautical equals water, and so I'm drawn towards a particular answer. I'm going to go for knot.
Knot is the right answer. Well done. OK, over to the brain. What type of graph shows the values of variables by the height of rectangles of equal width? Is it a pie chart, bar chart, or scatter diagram?
Well, it's not a scatter diagram. And believe it or not, would you know the person who was reputedly the person who invented pie charts? That was Florence Nightingale.
Really?
Yes, she was a famous statistician. But that's sadly not the answer to this question. The answer is bar chart.
Barry, you're quite right. Bar chart it is. OK, over to you, Andy. Which part of a horse contains a cannon bone? Is it leg, neck, or tail?
Wow. Horses are not a strong part of my knowledge. I think the more obvious answer is leg, but do I go for leg or neck? Cannon bone. Neck.
It is leg. Andy, sorry.
Okay.
Barry, piloerection refers to which part of the body becoming raised? Lip, eyebrow, or hair?
Piloerection occurs when you receive a very severe fright and it's your hair standing on end.
The hair stands on end, that is correct. Piloerection is what it is. OK. Andy, your question. In the double helix structure of DNA, which nucleotide always bonds as a pair with adenine? Is it cytosine, guanine, or thymine? And you need to get this one right to stay in.
I do indeed. And if you'd asked me this best part of 30 years ago, I would have jumped straight to the right answer. So I do know, obviously, those are the 4 constituent elements, and not elements, but you know what I mean. I think it's guanine.
Let's see if Barry knows. Is he right, Barry?
It's thymine.
Thymine is the right answer. Andy, sorry. Brain of Britain's knocked you out
Indeed.
on science, and he does love his science. Pat's good on science too, but Barry, there's something about Barry in science, he actually loves it.
Never mind.
So there we go, you're not in the final and Barry is. Come back to us and we will play that final round. So this is what we have been playing towards. It is time for the final round, which as always is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So Terry and Andy from the Sea Greeners, and also Judith and Kevin from the Eggheads, would you please now leave the studio? So, Rob, Simon and Philip, you're playing to win the Sea Greeners £1,000. Barry, Pat and Dave, you're playing for something that money can't buy, the Eggheads' reputation. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time, the questions are all general knowledge, and you are allowed to confer. So, Sea Greeners, the question is, are your 3 brains able to overcome the Eggheads' 3? And would you like to go first or second?
We'd like to go first, please, Jeremy.
OK, here we go, final round, good luck. Podgy Pig, Ming the Dragon, and a woodland creature named Raggetty are friends of the title character of which comic strip dating back to the 1920s? Is it Rupert Bear, Andy Capp, or Fred Bassett?
It's Rupert Bear, I'm sure of it.
No, I went straight to Raggetty, I went straight to Rupert Bear.
So it's definitely
And
not
it's
Fred
1920s
Bassett,
comic
it's not
strip.
Andy Capp, they run
No,
other...
Fred Bassett came later.
Yeah.
I don't know, I would definitely
Yeah.
go for
Rupert Bear.
We're going to go with Rupert the Bear.
Rupert Bear is the right answer. Well done. 1 to you. First question for the Eggheads. The popular reading books for young children launched in 1949 were based on the characters Janet and who? James, Joe, or John?
Janet and John, aren't they?
John.
Yeah.
We think that's John.
John is the right answer. They may get harder. Your second question. Sea Greeners, in which borough of New York City is the Museum of Modern Art located? Is it Manhattan, Brooklyn, or Queens?
I'm drawn to...
Let's think about it. In Manhattan, you've got the Guggenheim, haven't you?
Definitely got the Guggenheim.
There's the Brooklyn Museum of Arts. That's the trouble. Can we rule out Queens?
Queens, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's not Queens.
Well, I'm drawn to Brooklyn because of its association with art generally.
Yeah, because it's
But Manhattan is the centre. Would you have a big museum in New York outside of Manhattan?
Like you say, Brooklyn is sort of the it's more left field, isn't it?
More bohemian, isn't
But yeah.
But the answer's probably going to be Manhattan.
It probably will be.
Where we're going to get the vast majority of the the tourists and visitors.
Should we go with Manhattan? I don't want to push you to it.
No, I think we go with Manhattan.
Manhattan?
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know, but my colleagues here, we think it's Manhattan.
Let's see with these eggs, Barry,
Manhattan.
Pat.
Manhattan.
Manhattan is the right answer. Well done.
Thank goodness.
We got there, boys.
Slowly but surely.
Eggheads, your question. What is the name of the teacher played by Greg Davis in the TV sitcom The In-Betweeners? Is it Mr. Robert, Mr. Gilbert, Mr. Herbert?
You seen it?
Never
I've
seen it.
a small fraction of one episode, and he didn't appear.
All I would say, Mr. Robert sounds more contrived than Gilbert and Herbert as a surname. So Gilbert or Herbert. If you were going to take the mickey out of somebody who's a teacher, probably Herbert.
Right, Herbert, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the idea of
Just for a
taking the
guess-
mickey out of
just for a
somebody.
guess, but
I like the
I've
idea
no
of that.
idea.
That's
Not
what we'll
seen
do
it.
then. We're completely at sea, Jeremy, and we're going to go for Mr. Herbert with great confidence.
Do you watch it, guys?
Yeah, we do.
Ah, what's the answer?
My instinct's Mr. Gilbert.
Mr. Gilbert, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Gilbert is the answer, Eggheads.
Herbert.
Your chance to win on this question. Beat the Eggheads. Almazbek Atambayev was elected president of which country in 2011? Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, or Mongolia?
Personally, I'm drawn between Uzbekistan and Kurdistan. Any recollection of any elections in either of those two countries? We're only talking
I
about
agree
2
that we
years
should
ago.
rule out Mongolia. You see, it's Kyrgyzstan, isn't it?
Albek.
And I hadn't heard of that until.
Could we hear the name again, please, Jeremy?
Yeah. Almazbek Atambayev was elected president of which country in 2011?
I tell you what, EV, so it's more Russian, isn't it?
Almazbek attempt, so it's a Russian.
So are we veering more towards Kyrgyzstan's? I mean, you can tell me, because I don't want to lead it.
Uzbekistan.
Should we go with Uzbekistan?
Yeah, I think we go
Uzbekistan.
It's a slightly educated guess, but we are going with Uzbekistan.
They right?
Don't know.
No.
Kyrgyzstan.
Never mind.
I can see how the Beck was like the shred of a clue drew you in there. Yeah. Kyrgyzstan. Tough question, that. Okay, Eggheads, if you get this one wrong, the contest is over. Chinese Girl or Green Lady, which became one of the world's most reproduced prints, is a 1952 work by which artist? Is it Alexander Rodchenko, Naum Gabo, or Vladimir Trechikov?
Trechikov.
Okay. Yep, that's fine.
That's Vladimir Trechikov.
We had it on the wall of my lounge for about 20 years.
Okay, all right. Well, yes, you're right. Vladimir Trechikov is the right answer. I won't tease you if you really are sure. Trechikov is right. So 2 points after 3 questions for you both. We go to sudden death, Sir Greeners, which means it becomes a bit harder. I don't give you alternative answers.
Right.
Which London restaurant opened in 1967 is named after a character from Les Miserables?
Right, you know Les Miserables. Is Quaglino in Les Miserables? Is it in the book or the musical? That's the question. You need a French restaurant and a French restaurant as well. A Gavroche. It must be La Gavroche, because Gavroche, I think, is the arresting officer.
50 moment.
Try it.
Absolutely.
Right, my learned friend here on the left suggested it might be the La Gavroche.
Le Gavroche is correct.
Fantastic. Well done, Phil.
Well done, well played, Gavroche. Okay, so you're on the back foot again, Eggheads. In Greek mythology, who rescued Andromeda after she'd been chained to a rock as a sacrifice to a sea monster?
Perseus, yeah, Perseus. Perseus, it's Perseus, isn't it?
That was Perseus.
Perseus is the right answer. Sorry. They are hard to throw off. Hadrian's Villa, or the Villa Adriana, is in which town, roughly 30 kilometers northeast of Rome?
Okay, we need all the help we can get. So let's think about it. Think of wines, football teams. So you've got Lazio. You've got how far out of Rome is that? Because obviously that's close. It's 2 now.
Yeah.
It's not far enough.
Hadrian's Villa or La Villa Adrian. It's obviously
he's an emperor, so it would have.
I don't know. I'm drawn to Pisa, but that's probably too far north.
No, I don't think that's the right place. No, Pisa's not that close to Rome. Can't be. Castello Gandolfo. Is Gandolfo a town?
Try it.
Try Gandolfo. I don't know if it's a town. Sorry.
It's wild stab in the dark. Gandolfo.
Eggheads, you know?
Tivoli.
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 Wouldn't have got that.
All right. So, Eggheads, your chance to take the contest. Here's your question. In which year did the so-called Zinoviev letter create a scandal when it was published by the Daily Mail 4 days before a British general election?
Is it 1924?
I think it's 24.
1924 is the date that's coming to both of our heads.
Before Ramsay MacDonald
Yeah,
first,
I think it's
won, which tried to
1924.
discredit him, didn't it?
Well, it's coming to my head.
24 came straight into my head as well.
1924.
We'll go with that. We're going with 1924.
1924 is the right answer. We say congratulations, Eggheads, you have won. Well, I must say, you played a brilliant game, and it was just so entertaining to watch the way you did it. Yes, it was close, no question, because you got Kevin out, and then the 3 of them you wobbled a bit, didn't you, Eggs?
Yeah.
On this side, commiserations, Sir Greeners. The Eggheads have done what comes, I'll say naturally, to them. It doesn't feel that way at the moment. They do reign supreme over Quizland once again. I'm afraid it means you won't be going home with the £1,000, so the money rolls over to our next show. Eggheads, congratulations. I wonder when you will be beaten. Join us next time to see if a new team of challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. £2,000 says they don't. Till then, goodbye.